Breaking news. A former British soldier of the Royal Signals, Daniel Khalif, has been found guilty of spying for an enemy of the state. This is for Iran. Welcome to Combat Ready HQ. I am Craig Holman, a former soldier of 16 years. So this has just been released today. Some of you may remember him from last year when he broke out of Wandsworth prison and was on the run for 3 days. He was being remanded at Wandsworth prison on these charges of spying. He actually got out through a delivery food truck while working in the kitchen, made his way outside, snuck under the truck, made a homemade sling from a piece of clothing, hid under the truck. It was then noticed that he was missing, but the prison still allowed the truck to leave. He then got out and went on the run for 3 days before he was arrested by a plainclothes officer. But before that, he actually joined the army at the age of 16 in 2019, going to the Army Foundation College, Harrogate, in September of 2018. That is actually where I trained. AFC Harrogate is the training establishment for junior soldiers. Those guys and girls leaving school at 16, you go and attend sort of junior soldier training instead of going off to, say, Catterick, Purbright, Winchester first of all. From there, he actually went on to a specialist role within the Royal Signals. This is where it gets a bit worrying and where you're trying to understand it. So he's got Iranian and Lebanese heritage, so from his mother and father. And he joined the Royal Signals, where the job he done, he actually had to go through security clearance and security checks to be able to, one, get in the army, and two, be able to do that role, because he had access to a lot of information, especially to do with those of the names and details of serving soldiers, even those within the special forces. While he was there, with just in the first year of being in the regiment, he started collecting information, made contact with someone in Iran through Facebook. So that's why you've got to be careful of social media. Security's they've got to be all over it. But he made contact to an Iranian guy through Facebook, and he allegedly sent documents containing names and information of serving soldiers, and even those apparently of in the SAS, the Special Air Service, and the SBS, the Special Boat Service. What he did next is rather bizarre and makes you sort of think, about his sort of mental state. He then went to MI6, told them what he had done, and said he wanted to be a double agent and wanted to work for the MI6 and passing information to Iran to gather as much information for them as possible. He did not release the information to the MI6 that he was actually, a soldier within the British Army, and the MI6 ignored it. So he then may have carried on passing information to Iran, and he was collecting £1,500 in dog poo bags in return of this information. But this is massive news. This is a serving soldier passing information to a big enemy of the United Kingdom. And to join the military, you have to go through background checks, you have to go through security clearances, and then to do certain roles within the British Army, you then have to do even more security checks, background checks, get your security clearance to be able to do those roles. So this doesn't happen. Well, what you can say is sometimes people slip through the nets, and that is obviously the case here. Big blow for the British Army and the United Kingdom that this has happened. What he was not found guilty of, though, was a bomb threat. So it is said that he planted a hoax bomb, so just a fake bomb, within his unit on his desk while he went AWOL and went on the run to try and slow down the authorities. He didn't think it would be taken that real. They thought, because it looks so fake, it wouldn't be taken seriously. But obviously the bomb squad was called in, wasted loads of money, wasted loads of time to then go on the run. It is said that throughout training he was a bit odd, he was cocky, he was arrogant, and he always wanted to sort of be better than everyone else. It just makes you think what goes through people's minds to do this. One, to pass information on to Iran when it's considered that he said that he hasn't actually had much dealings with his father. He was brought up by his mother, who is very strict. And then to go to the MI6 and say, I want to be a double agent, this is what I've done. But there's also failings at the MI6 for not looking this up. Someone's come to you and said they have passed information to Iran. They are speaking to an informant over in Iran. They've got contact in Iran. Why have they not chased this up? That is my question. Whether they may have not got the information, or they get loads of information and they don't have the manpower and the time to follow it all up. But I think something that's important, you would follow up. Yes, you're not going to take him on as a double agent. You've got to go through the correct training and applications to get into the MI6. But there's massive failings there. There's possibly massive failings within the sort of recruitment process in the British Army. Haven't done a video on it yet. Maybe released in the future. But let's just say I know of or heard of some recruitment and security failures from the recruitment company who recruit soldiers for the British Army. Might be the case here. So we do not know. But absolute breaking news that he has actually been found guilty, a former soldier of the British Army, for passing on information and knows possibly names of serving special forces soldiers and even your standard regular conventional soldiers, is big for a country of Iran to get that sort of information. Whether it's fake or not, we don't know, but they have got their hands on that sort of information. That is massive, and they need to chase this up and make sure that those families, those contacts are safe, dealt with correctly. But there's been massive failings here throughout some sort of recruitment process and possibly for MI6, and massive failings at the prison for allowing him to escape, for him to be under a truck, for him to be reported missing while the truck is still inside the prison, for them to search around the truck and still let the truck go out. That prison should have been on complete lockdown until they had found him. No one should have been coming in and out of that prison until that prisoner, Daniel Khalif, had been found. So, but yeah, that's what's going on at the minute. He has been found guilty of spying for an enemy of the state, but not guilty on the hoax of the bomb threats. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Please comment below with what your thoughts are, what you want to see next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.